Start recording. Yay, we're doing it. I hope it looks and sounds decent. My audio bar is moving, so I think we're good. So what's going on? Let's turn this down to a little bit. I'm number one. I'm grubbing. I'm getting some eat on. That's beef stroganoff hamburger helper and fried potatoes. I fry them up with seasoned salt and black pepper, and I chop up an onion and throw it in there with them. And that's the fried onions. This is some of the food that I made to bring out on the road with me. I didn't have a whole lot of the potatoes. The potatoes were probably like 2 or 3 meals worth of potatoes. Um, so all the potatoes are already gone. But I have enough of this damn hamburger helper that I'm probably not going to be able to eat it all before it starts going bad. And I just now had to turn my air conditioner, not my air conditioner, but my refrigerator down a little bit because whenever I opened up the beef stroganoff and went to put it on the plate to heat it up, there was water on the lid that was frozen. So that's the problem in these trucks whenever you're like turning your equipment off and on and stuff like that for like whenever you're at your house. Like when I was at my house, I turned the refrigerator off and I took everything out of it for the 2 weeks I was at my house, and I can't remember the exact temperature setting that I had it on, so I'm playing with it to get it right back in the correct spot. I need to put some kind of marking in there on where I like it. But yeah, I'm just sitting here at the West Memphis terminal. I got here somewhere around 5:30 this morning, 5:30 a.m. on Tuesday. I had a bunch of drama with this load. I had to put the trailer in the shop and get a whole bunch of work done on it. I wanted to get more stuff fixed on the trailer, and Roadside wouldn't approve it. And I I screwed up. I'll admit it. I screwed up. Like as much stuff as I found. I mean, my inspection was overwhelming because I found so much stuff wrong with it. But I missed something, and I didn't catch it until my post trip. Whenever I got to West Memphis, I wasn't planning on stopping in West Memphis initially, but because I had to put the trailer into the shop for like 3 or 4 hours, it messed up my clock, and I wasn't able to drive as far as I wanted to, and I was going to have to be stopping and at like 5 a.m. and it's going to be hard to find a parking spot. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to be driving. I'm going to be near West Memphis at approximately the time that I want to stop. So let's just go there so I don't have to deal with parking. And it's a good thing that I went here because when I did my post trip at 5:30 this morning, approximately 5:30, I found some stuff that I missed on my pre-trip. The only thing that I found though was the ABS light. The ABS light was completely out, did not work at all. So I the shop here opens at 6 a.m. So I went and put in I disconnected from the trailer and put it into the loaded line. And then whenever they opened up, I actually got in there like 5:45 a.m. They had the doors unlocked. And I went in there and filled out a work order and put on there that the ABS light was out and asked them to please inspect the tires because I wanted like 3 tires replaced, and they would only replace one tire in roadside because the other two were not technically illegal, even though they looked like shit. And yeah, I think that was it. That was the only thing roadside wouldn't do that I wanted done was there were two other tires. Well, I got in there and turned in the report thing to have I said the ABS was not working and I asked them to please inspect the tires, and What else? There was one other thing. Oh, I asked him to do a retorque because I hadn't done a retorque since I got that tire replaced. Um, and the shop guy, as he was writing it up, he pulled up the information on his computer for that trailer, and he was like, "Oh, that thing needs an annual vehicle inspection." I'm like, "It just had an annual vehicle inspection in April. It's not due for one for 5 months." And he is like, "April," and he counted it out, and he's like, "Yeah, that's 7 months. So yeah, you're within the 90 days to get another one done." I'm like, "No, I'm still like 5 months away." And we sit there, and he was like counting it out, and we weren't on the same page because, and eventually after a couple minutes he said, "Oh, we do them on 9 month schedules, not 12-month schedules at USA Truck." So um, they get these trailers are supposed to be in, go through an annual inspection every 9 months at USA Truck. Um, and if it gets within 90 days of that 9 months and it's at a terminal, it's supposed to have an annual vehicle inspection done. So I was like, well, awesome. I was wanting to get a new inspection done anyway, and you guys should find all the problems with it in an inspection. So that's great. I was like, man, I'm going to be here all day, so you guys got all day to work on it. I'm disconnected from it, and I'm parked, in the bobtail area. So is it cool? Are you guys able to like pull it in whenever you want to work on it, and you'll just throw it back out there whenever you're done? He was like, yep. I was like, well, that's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna go sleep all day. And they're already finished with the trailer. I woke up. I fell asleep at about 6:30 a.m. I was so tired. I was able to fall asleep pretty quick. And unfortunately, I'm having an issue staying asleep in the truck. I'm only able to sleep in small, like 2, 3 hour increments. I can't sleep for long periods of time in the truck. And I woke up at about probably 9:30 a.m. and laid in bed for a half hour, looked at the load board on my phone, stuff like that. Finally got out of bed, went to the building and used the restroom, and then I went back out to see if the trailer had been pulled into the shop yet because I didn't see it in the shop. And I went out there and I found it, and it's already put back out and finished. And they replaced those two tires. I didn't even ask them to replace those two tires. I just asked them to inspect the tires, and and they of course did an annual vehicle inspection. Um, but they went ahead and replaced those two tires that I wanted replaced. One of them had really bad cupping on it, and the other one had really bad wear, and it had chunks missing out of it, and there was like it was cracking along the recap line. It was just a real nasty looking tire, but according to Roadside, they were technically legal, and Roadside will not approve replacement unless you like. I've had to get stuff. I've been able to get things replaced that weren't like technically illegal with Roadside, but you have to be really stern with them, and you have to put your foot down. And I'm not like if the situation's bad enough, then yeah, I have put my foot down on stuff before, but I don't do it unless I absolutely have to. If it's a real safety issue, then I'll be like, no, no, this isn't happening. You're replacing this, or you get somebody else out here to pick this damn load up. Um, so it's annoying that USA Truck will not replace stuff unless it's illegal. If it's close to illegal, if it is borderline unsafe or really close to unsafe, they don't like illegal means it's really bad. It's so bad that it's illegal. You shouldn't wait till that point to fix things. That's like that's the limit that you cannot cross. You don't wait until you cross that limit to fix something. You fix it before you get to the limit. I just that's one of the frustrating things with USA Truck. They've been changing that mentality with preventative maintenance because used to on preventative maintenance, if it was not illegal at the time of the PM, they wouldn't replace it. Like if your brake pads were like, just a centimeter from being illegal, they wouldn't bother replacing them during a PM, even though most likely they were going to be illegal within a month or two. Now, during PMs, they're a little bit more liberal with replacing stuff, and they try to get parts on the truck that are going to last until the next PM, um, or the trailer, trucks and trailers. So now they're really good about replacing brakes and tires and stuff like that during PMs. But they still have that stance on roadside where they won't replace shit on roadside unless it's illegal. It's really frustrating. Um, but anyway, enough ranting about that. There's actually some good news now. The We'll scroll up here to the top. You can see the two loads that I'm on. I'll go over those in a minute. Let me refresh this page. I'm looking for a load out of Virginia Beach. And right now, there's just nothing but crap. There are tons of these Inwood, Virginia to Dallas loads, but they're $2. They're less than $2 a mile crap. They're like 90 cent a mile crap, or not 90 cent, like $1.80 or $1.90 a mile crap. You know what? It bugs me. It really bugs me. I'm gonna find out exactly what it is. 2,400. $1.87 a mile, $1.86.6. We're rounding it up to $1.87. It's $1.87 a mile crap. I get times 0.65, 65% a mile for that. So it's $1.21 a mile crap. I don't like running for $1.21 a mile. So I'm hoping that something better gets posted. Let's get rid of my time requirement real quick. And whenever you're searching for loads really far out and you can't find a good load, it's always, if you're not familiar with the market, it's always a good idea to search for loads like today and tomorrow to get a feel for what the market is like and what you can expect as you get closer and closer to the date that you need to pick up a load. So, not a lot of really good loads here. I'm not really sure I'd want to go up into Michigan, but hey, there's $3 a mile loads going up into Michigan. There's what is this? This is like $6 a mile to go to Maine. Um, but it starts in Chester, Pennsylvania. That's going to be a massive deadhead from Virginia Beach, 256-mile deadhead. Go up to Chester, Pennsylvania, and then take a load to Maine. I have never been that far up into the Northeast. I've never been past, like, I've been to New York State, I've been to New Jersey, and I've been to Pennsylvania, but I haven't been, like, further northeast than those three. I've never been up into like Massachusetts or Vermont or Maine or whatever in the hell else is up in there. So that gives me an idea of what there is. I'm hoping to get another really good load. I'll go over the really good loads that I have right now here in a second. Let me switch this back over to. There we go. Over to this. So what was I ranting and raving about? Some good news. All there are positive things. The issues with this trailer. Let me look over at the screen and make sure it's recording what I wanted to record. The issues with this trailer. Yeah, they screwed up my trip plan. Um, I was driving extremely fatigued last night. Really, I was so close to just pulling over because I was about to start nodding off. I didn't quite get to the point where, I was doing that head bob bullshit. I was just really tired. The eyes were heavy, stuff like that. But I don't have the sleeper split or any of that stuff. It's all disabled. So it kind of pushes me into, driving my full 11 because anytime I go and take a nap or anything, it really turns into a 10-hour break because I don't have the sleeper split. I can't just like stop and take a 2, 3, 4 hour nap and get going again I just have to do full 10-hour breaks, which really sucks right now because I haven't been able to sleep for very long periods of time. I've been like napping for like 3 or 4 hours at most, mostly 1 or 2 hours, and I'm wide awake. I just wake up after a couple hours and I'm just wide awake and I can't go back to sleep. Like today, when I went to sleep at 6:30 this morning, I had been awake for over 20 hours, like 20, almost 24 hours, because I woke up at 7 a.m. the previous day. So, yeah, right at 23 hours I'd been awake, and I only slept for 3 hours. I woke up, and this is me. I'm just wide awake. I cannot go back to sleep right now. I'm going to try to go back to sleep, but that's what is really awesome about the sleeper split is that when I, wake up like that, I can just go drive. And then when I start getting tired, I can pull over and go to sleep. And then I can get back up and I can just keep doing that. If my body gets into a rhythm where it just wants to nap instead of sleep for long periods of time, then that's one of the things. Like, there are several reasons that I like the sleeper split, but that's one of the reasons. Well, the good news is that just like a couple of hours ago, they finally re-enabled the sleeper split. Um, so now I can do sleeper splits again. It's not a company-wide thing. What happened was whenever the new changes for the ELD, the new hours of service rules went into effect on September 29th, they had the ELD set up to where it would be ready for the new changes. Like, as soon as they went into effect, we had the new changes in the ELD. We could start using the new rules. That day, early in the morning, they found that it wasn't working properly, and people were getting lots of hours of service violations because it wasn't working properly. I'm not sure if it actually wasn't working properly or if people just didn't understand the damn hours of service rules, because it's something I've been ranting and raving about since they announced the rule changes months ago. As soon as I heard the rule changes, I made a video about it, about how people were going to have retroactive hours of service violations because on the sleeper split, both sides of it are now going to pause your 14-hour clock. But if you don't complete the second half of the sleeper split, then if you went over your 14 and then you drove past that, it's going to show you as good on your logs. And then you're going to go into your break period, and if you go off duty instead of sleeper, or if it's broken up, it has to be a continuous sleeper period on that on the sleeper split, and it has to be in the sleeper berth, not in off duty. There's some requirements on that. If you don't meet the requirements for the second half, then whenever it paused your 14-hour clock and let you work beyond your 14 and told you it was good to go on that, then you're going to get in trouble on that on the back end. It's going to say that you're not in violation until you come out of your rest period where you were in off duty instead of sleeper, and as soon as you hit the drive line, you're going to be in an hours of service violation. You're going to have two violations. You're going to have the violation that happened from you driving past your 14 over here, and then as soon as you started driving right here, if you didn't take a full 10-hour break, you're going to have a second violation right there. I've made multiple videos on that and how I didn't think people fully understood the ramifications of the hours of service changes with the sleeper split, because most people don't even understand how the damn sleeper split works. And then they add in, more complexity to it like that, and it's just going to lead to a lot of hours of service violations. So I think USA Truck realized that, and whenever they turned the sleeper split back on, what they did was they sent out an email and asked who uses the sleeper split. I don't know if these numbers are company-wide, owner-operators and company drivers, or if it's just the owner-operator fleet, but they said there are only 30 of us that are on the list to use the sleeper split. So only 30 people replied back and said that they use the sleeper. Um, and I was on that list. All of those people were sent information on additional training that they had to complete. I completed that training immediately after I received that message. because the message said we're gonna give you the sleeper split as soon as you complete this training. And I completed it immediately. I messaged my driver manager and said, "Hey, I completed that training," because the message said, "Message your driver manager once you complete this training." And so I did, and she replied back and told me that it won't be enabled until everyone in the group that's getting it has completed the training. That was like 3 weeks ago. So I contacted safety, or actually, I contacted my driver manager yesterday and said, "Hey, what's going on with the sleeper split? I still don't have the option to enable it." And she said she didn't know. She told me to check with safety. So I called safety. I spoke with Chase, and we talked about it. And he said that he wasn't sure what the current status of it was, but he thought that they were just waiting on all of the people in the group to finish that training. And I was like, man, it's been like 3 damn weeks. um, I finished that training day one when they sent it out, and he said, yeah, I know, but it's really we have a difficult time getting people to watch training videos. It's a struggle. Um, so I was like, damn. He said, but he said that he would look into it and see if that's what's holding it up, and he would contact me back with an update. And then that was yesterday, and then this morning, I got a message saying that sleeper split was enabled. And I just went over and switched over to sleeper split mode, so now I can use sleeper splits again. So that's awesome. Just a second, I need to blow my nose. Where's the pause button? And we're recording again. We're going. We're doing it. Ugh, ugh. Let me get my fat leg curled up underneath me. Um, Let me refresh this. Where's my mouse? There it is. So I'm really excited that I have the sleeper split again. I have a really good trailer. They got the sketchy tires replaced on it. Um, but I'm only going to have this trailer for about 3 more driving hours. I'm doing a drop and hook on it, so I've got it in tip-top shape for the next driver. The driver who had it before me was, you know, not as thoughtful as I am. Didn't really give a shit about his fellow driver, and left me with this headache that I had to put in the shop twice, basically. Now, it having to go in the shop twice was my fault because I didn't catch everything on the inspection. But I'm fairly certain it's in tip-top shape now. It has a brand new vehicle inspection report. It's got 3 not new tires, but 3 replacement tires. All the tires look solid on it now, and everything's good on the trailer. So I've got a good trailer for the next person, and I feel comfortable driving the trailer now. That I'm not, I don't think I'm gonna get a DOT violation with it. And what else? What else? Um, yeah, I'm happy about the sleeper split. Oh, I'm happy about the loads that I got. So I talked about it in the previous video. The load that I'm on right now is a near unicorn load. It's not a unicorn. It's 3,100 for 600 miles. The other load that I ended up getting is also a near unicorn load. I don't, I don't think I've ever had back-to-back near unicorn loads before. I might have. I don't know. I can't remember. But the second load I have is $3,600 going like somewhere in the area of 750 miles. The rate per mile on it is not quite as good, but it's a really good load, and it's a day and a half load. It's gonna take like a little. It's gonna take more than one drive shift, but the first load I had is a single drive shift, and I make roughly $2,200 on the first loads I'm on. That's my 65% cut plus the fuel surcharge. So gross to the truck is about $2,200 on my first load, the one I'm on right now. The next load I'm picking up after this, I'm making about $2,500 gross to the truck on that one. So with just these two loads, which are going to take me a total of 3 to 4 days, um, I'm going to be making $4,700 gross to the truck, which is my weekly average. But I'm going to do that in just a little over half the week, which puts me in a position where I could potentially finally cross that $6,000 a week pay. I've never done it. I've been in this position multiple times where I had like half a week where I made like $4,000 in $3,500 to $4,500 in 3 or 4 days, and then I just wasn't able to get a load after that. I was just kind of stuck, and unfortunately, I might be in that position in Virginia Beach because I'm going to be delivering in Virginia Beach on Friday, and it's like if I'm not able to find a load for Friday, then I may be sitting in Virginia Beach over the weekend waiting until Monday for a load. Uh, I'm scouring the load board, hoping I find something. I don't know if I'm willing to take one of these loads right here to Dallas. Um, I don't know if I'd be willing to do that just so that I can drive over the weekend. But, one of these Dallas loads would allow me to, just like pick up the load on Friday and then drive over the weekend and deliver on Monday. Instead of sitting in Virginia all weekend, I could take one of these loads to Dallas and just, that'd be my weekend load. How much would I make on this load? This is probably the load that I would now actually I would try to get this one that it picks up early in the morning at 10:30 a.m., but it delivers on the 15th instead of the 16th. The 15th is Monday. No, the 15th is Sunday. Oh, that would be sweet. Pick it up on Friday the 13th and then deliver it Sunday the 15th. Yeah, I would try. I don't know if I could make the pickup time on this one because I don't know when exactly I'm going to be delivering. Let's see, Virginia Beach to Inwood, Virginia. Let's see what the deadhead is on this. Holy crap, 258-mile deadhead. That basically that tells me no, I'm not going to bother with this. That deadhead is way too much for how little this thing pays. I thought Inwood was actually kind of close to uh, Virginia Beach. I didn't realize it was that far away. Um, if it was within 100 miles, maybe even 150 miles, I would consider it. But at that deadhead, that load just doesn't pay enough. Let's see what 65% of 2400 is. 1560. So not counting in fuel surcharge, which is breakthrough fuel, um, it would be about $128 in fuel surcharge is what it would be. So I guess we can throw that in there. 1560 plus 128 puts it up at roughly $1,700 is what that load would pay over the course of like 3 days. So it's like a little over 500 bucks a day. Like 500 is really my floor on what I'm willing to do is 500 a day, and I usually don't pull a load at $500 a day. So I don't expect that I'm going to haul that crap because it's also a max weight load, 45,000 pounds. Procter and Gamble, Tabler Station Plant Manufacturing, Tabler. It makes for some reason I'm thinking of salt. This might be like bags of salt. So it's a heavy ass Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble loads are almost always heavy. The thing is though is I used to haul almost exclusively Procter and Gamble loads. Like let's go through the history of me being an owner operator at USA Truck. When I first started out, um, I I thought that like a $1,200 load that was paying $3 a mile was a really good load. So something that was like 400 miles paying $1,200. I thought that was a really solid load. Even though I didn't make that full 1,200, I only made like maybe $900 on one of those loads. So I was pulling loads that I was only going about 400 miles and I was making about $900. Um, I was pulling loads like that whenever I first started driving. And that did not last very long. Um, that was basically my first week. My second week is when I got that load going out to Portland, and I went out to Portland, then I went down to L.A., and then I got that load from L.A. out to Louisiana that was paying like 5,400 bucks for 1,800 miles, I think. Those loads pay a lot better right now than they did then. You can get those loads for $6,000 to $8,000 now. They weren't paying that well back then. That was a really good load for back then, though. But yeah, after that, it just kind of like changed my whole perspective on what a good load was, and I started realizing that it's not just simply rate per mile, it's also total amount of revenue on the load and how much I'm making on a daily basis, like how much I'm making per day. Yeah, if I can pick up and deliver a load that's paying me 900 bucks and I can do it within a 24-hour period, the pickup and the delivery both, then yeah, that load becomes worth it. That becomes a fairly solid load. But if it takes me 2 days to do that load that's paying me 900 bucks, I'm only making 450 bucks a day on that load. That's really bad. So um, I started realizing that stuff, and I started looking and scouring and increasing my radius that I was willing to travel. Because initially I was only like I was the thought of deadheading more than 150 miles to pick up a load was just no way I'm doing that. But then I started crunching the numbers, and I'm like, man, it's like better for I can deadhead a full day, like 500 or 600 miles for some of these really good loads rather than hauling around this cheap crap, and it's more profitable on whenever you're looking at daily revenue. So it changed my whole philosophy on picking loads, and that's when I started hauling the Procter and Gamble loads. The Procter and Gamble loads were all brokered loads. They were not general freight loads. Let's see if they're still brokered. Yeah, they're still brokered loads. So we don't have a contract with them. We may have a contract, but it's not like contract freight. Contract freight is general freight. Um, well, I don't know the ins and outs of the specifics of it, so don't quote me on any of that stuff. I'm not sure what technically classifies something as general freight versus brokered. I know that we have our own brokers at USA Truck, and the brokered loads are going through their brokers. General freight, it's my understanding that's just like contract stuff that we're not like brokering out on the general market and stuff. But anyway, um, I was hauling almost exclusively Procter and Gamble for a couple of months because they were the best paying loads on the board. And so I was just hauling brokered loads everywhere, and that's when I started making, good money. I mean, it was only like my third week out on the road that I started hauling Procter and Gamble, and I hauled those almost exclusively until the Chewy.com loads came along, and then I hauled Chewy.com's loads almost exclusively for a month or so, and then those loads have dried up, and now I'm not like right now. I'm not hauling anything in particular. The load I'm on right now is a Kimberly Clark load. My second load is something I've never heard of. Let me look it up. Just a second here. Sorry, I was reading the weather message. So it looks like my other load is Home Depot. It says Home Depot on the title, but I'm picking up at Rheem, the place who makes the air conditioners, and I'm delivering to Perez Enterprises in Virginia Beach. Maybe Perez Enterprises is a Home Depot. Do they have a website? They don't have much of any reviews or anything. Let's look at the Google reviews here. All right, so what it looks like is it's an installation place for like Home Depot and Lowe's. So yeah, they are affiliated with Home Depot, and it's appliance installation people. So they're an appliance delivery and installation company, is what it looks like. So I'm going to be taking Rheem products there, which I don't know what all products Rheem um, makes. I'm only familiar with their air conditioners, so it's probably a trailer load of air conditioners that I'll be taking over to this Perez Enterprises Rheem or whatever. And yeah, so I'm hauling Kimberly Clark and Home Depot this week. So I'm there's not anything in particular that's just like really good freight on the load board at this moment. Uh, the good loads are just I'm not hauling anything in particular at this moment apparently. So yeah, Procter and Gamble has fallen off. Chewy.com has fallen off. You know what? Let me pull up a new load board search because I don't want to mess up my search that I have right now. Oh, and we'll check my video cameras and see if they picked up those damn leaves, or not the leaves, but the limbs from my property. So Virginia Beach, let's check somewhere where they. I want Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, to be in the search, but they have. Let's do Pittsburgh. Because there's a lot of Chewy.com loads that come out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, um, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and then Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. And I want to see if I can get all of those markets in a single search. Pittsburgh might be close enough to all of them that it can get all of them in. So let's see. I'm looking for cities. Wow. I'm not seeing any loads coming out of those places. Let's change the minimum down to like 1,200. Maybe the Chewy.com loads have just bottomed out to where they're paying garbage now. Um, What I'm looking for is city names on the origin. I'm looking for Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. There's a Cuyahoga Falls going to Jessup, Pennsylvania. That is not going to be a Chewy.com. That's the Kong Company. Yeah, that's the place I'm looking for. Oh wow, this is a Chewy.com. Jessup, Pennsylvania. Chewy AVP2. Yep, that's it. It's a Chewy.com load. Hannah is the one that runs a Chewy account. So what is this crap paying? The whole reason I was searching for one of these loads is to see if maybe the reason I'm not finding them is because the pay's gone to crap on them. And yeah, that looks like the case. The pay has gone to crap on the Chewy.com loads. I mean, the rate per mile on this one is decent, but like, yeah, this is kind of crap. So I might not be hauling many Chewy.com loads in the future. Let's check Amarillo and see if they've relisted that load yet that they kept canceling off on me. Nope, no loads out of Amarillo. Actually, let's remove the minimum. You know what I could do in looking for a load is look for a destination. Let's check this out. You know what? Let's see how hot the Los Angeles market is. Let's check out the Los Angeles. We'll check out Northern California and Southern California, and maybe Tony and I can go run together over to California. I know how much Tony loves to run over in California. Um, Tony needs to make more videos. He's only made like 2 videos. Let me pause this so I don't pull up any personal information. Let me pull up his channel real quick. All right, we're recording again. All right, I don't think there's anything personal on this page. Trucking with Tony. That's who I'm talking about when I say Tony. He's only got 3 videos. He's only got 3 subscribers. But I recommend checking him out. He's the one that has the. I just found out in his last video who he got his truck from. He did a TEL lease. I forget what TEL stands for. TEL. It's like Truck Enterprises something. I don't know. Everybody just calls them TEL. But he has a brand new Freightliner. I think he said it had 120 miles on it when he got it. Brand new Freightliner. And he's paying like $630 a week for it, if I remember correctly. That seems like a pretty damn good deal. It's probably a 5-year loan though. Um, and I think he said he only put $1,500 down for the truck. So if he doesn't have a balloon payment at the end of that, then that is a pretty solid deal to me. Let me run the numbers on that. Let's say 630 times 52. That's $32,760 a year. Let's do that times 5. That's $163,800 plus his $1,500 down payment, which is plus $1,500. That's $165,300 for a brand new Freightliner. That is a pretty damn good deal. considering that total amount of money, that's interest payments. That's the total that he's paying for that truck. That's every penny. And you know, that's like basically paying somewhere in the area of 140,000 with about a 15% interest rate. Let me run the numbers on that. 140,000 times 1.15 comes up to 161,000. So it's probably somewhere around a 17% interest rate on the loan is what it is, somewhere in that ballpark. But if it's compounding interest, it might actually be somewhere around a 13 to 15% interest rate. But for a lease, that is a really good interest rate. That's amazing. That's actually there's nothing wrong with that. And that's me guesstimating on what the retail price of that truck is. Let's see right here. 2021 Freightliner. I'm guessing it's around 140 grand for a close to base model, which I'm pretty sure that he probably has a close to base model. Crap. Let me add Cascadia into the search. All right, commercial truck trader. Let's just see what they say. 151,000, 151,000. 140,000, 2021 Freightliner Cascadia. It has 1,800 miles on it, so they're not selling it as new. It doesn't say new on here. There's another one. This one has 4 miles on it, so I guess they are selling it as new. They're just not saying new on it. I don't know what the difference is between the ones that are 140 versus $155,000. It says manufacturer suggested retail price on here is $240,000, and they're selling it for $136,000. Here's one for 154. I'm not going to sit here and break down the differences between them to find out, like, is this one just a really good deal, or does this one have a lot more features that justify that price tag? But it looks like I'm not too far off on the price. Roughly $140,000 is very reasonable for a brand new Freightliner. So I don't. Anyway, I got off onto a. I'm just really excited about that. It sounds like an awesome deal. If he doesn't have a balloon payment on that, then I think that's an awesome lease purchase that he's in, and he's crushing it. Go check out his latest video. He's making $7,000 a week gross to the truck. He's bringing home, after all expenses, $4,100 a week. That's his average for his last month that he was out. That guy's crushing it, and he likes to go out here to California. Let's see what the loads are like over here in California. Not that great. These loads are generally paying $5,000 to $6,000, and they're not doing it. I mean, here's a $6,000 load going to Ohio. That's pretty solid, pretty decent. But the thing is, once you start breaking down how much you're making per day and the rate per mile and stuff like that, this 2,200-mile load may not be better than one of these two loads down here going to Texas. These two Texas loads might actually be better than that Springdale, Ohio load. Let's check Northern California. For some reason, Northern California has been better than Southern California for the last month or two. Let's see. This is a coast-to-coast run. Tracy, California to Columbia, South Carolina, 2,600 miles, $6,700. I would really like to see that load. Right now, in the current market, that load should be paying upwards of $10,000. So the broker on that load is making a killing. Tracy to Chicago, another 2,000 miles for $5,200. These loads aren't that amazing. These loads are not paying well enough for me to go over to California right now. These loads aren't worth it. I can get this kind of money where I'm at right now. I don't need to haul this crap. The 2 loads I'm on right now pay better than this crap. These 3 loads down here at the bottom, Manteca, California, going to Puyallup, Washington, and Phoenix, Arizona. All these 750-mile, well, not this bottom one going to Phoenix, but these 2 going to Washington are not as good as either load that I currently have. They're close, but not as good. The load I'm on is roughly, it's really close to the same miles as this, but it's paying $3,600 instead of $3,000. I'm getting $600 more on it. So I was just checking to see what the California market's like right now to see if I want to look for a load. Let's just see if there is no, I don't want to. I just want to do regular Los Angeles, not Lake Los Angeles. There we go. Let's look for loads going to LA. Not a single load on the entire load board going to Los Angeles that pays over $2,000. Now, if I were to get rid of this minimum, then I'll get a whole bunch of local shit, like stuff in California going to LA, or stuff in LA going to LA. So I need that amount of money set there. So let's check Tracy, California. Not really wanting to go to Northern California because I most likely would have to drive. There's a huge difference going east to west into California. There's a huge difference between North and South California. Yeah, the only loads going into California are, well, here's one going from Spring Hill, Kansas to Stockton. Yeah, that's not that great. Let's check Oklahoma City. See what's going to my house. So the West Coast is not doing very good right now. We're not going to do any West Coast stuff. Ooh, Redlands, California to Roanoke. We were just looking at that one. Looks good, but it's not that good. Newport, Tennessee to Fort Worth, Texas. I could get that load. Newport, Tennessee is not very far from where I'm at. That should actually, is that pulling up on my Virginia Beach search? That is just a hair out of range of my Virginia Beach search. No. Yeah, it looks like most of the loads headed to my house are those Inwood, Virginia loads that are not too far from me. Let's see. Virginia Beach, Virginia. Let's expand the search out a little bit. Oh, did I misspell it? All right, where's my map option? All right, let's see. I don't really want to go north to find a load. So let's do a search of Durham, North Carolina, and Columbus, Ohio. I mean, if I got to go north, I got to go north. But Durham, North Carolina. We're expanding out our deadhead possibilities. It's got to pay really well for me to deadhead this far. But we're going to look. I need something on the 12th at a minimum. I think I actually need something on the 13th or later. So right here and down. I mean, I could drive over to Arizona and just go to California from there. I could deadhead to California, but that's not worth it. 2,000 miles for that. That's a lot less. Like, that's, I don't know, $1.80 a mile or something like that. And then I only get 30% of that. That's terrible. So these loads are crap. Let's check Columbus, Ohio. And we're looking for something right here. Excuse me, the 12th or later. So Burnside, Kentucky to Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville is the northern part of Florida. And that's around when that hurricane's supposed to be there. The 13th. What it's supposed to get there on Wednesday, which I think it's tomorrow, is when it's supposed to hit the coast. Um, so that's a few days after it's supposed to make landfall, and I think it's making landfall in Alabama and not Florida. I mean, that's a pretty decent load, but I would have to see what I could get coming out of North Florida or South Georgia, South Alabama. Burnside, Kentucky would be a hell of a deadhead. Burnside is a damn Procter and Gamble warehouse. It's going to be a max weight load. Kingsford Clorox. Oh wow, it's not max weight. It's only 27,000 pounds of charcoal. I might go back to hauling Procter and Gamble loads. The 13th at 1 p.m. I don't even know if I can make that because it's going to be a long deadhead. Virginia Beach, Virginia to Burnside, Kentucky. Let's make a guess before I hit enter. Virginia Beach, Virginia to Burnside, Kentucky. I would guess it's probably 350 to 400 mile deadhead. Oh wow, wow, wow. That's way more. That's a full driving day. 640 miles. There's no way in hell I'm driving that far. It would have to be an amazing load. That is not amazing enough for that. That's no way. No way. And as an owner operator, I've never taken a load into Florida. I've never found a load that paid well enough to go into Florida or, you know, had a backhaul to come out to make it worthwhile. So I've never done Florida as an owner op. I went into Florida multiple times as a company driver. There were like 2 or 3 weeks in a row that they gave me a load going from Tulsa to Dayton. I think it was Dayton, Florida. It was west of Orlando, just west of Orlando. Let's see. Dayton, Florida, Walmart Distribution Center. Maybe it wasn't Dayton. Florida, Walmart Distribution. Man, can I even type today? It was this one right here. It was right next to a Love's. There was a Love's like right at the entrance. Davenport, Florida. That's it, not Dayton. Davenport. Where's the Love's at? Right here. Right there's the Love's. So this Walmart distribution center is the one that I delivered to. I don't know how many times. 2 or 3 times. It's like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. The load that I got coming out of my house was that load going to Davenport, Florida. Um, and it's just west of Orlando. and that Loves is utter chaos. Like there's never ever any parking there. Even in the middle of the day, it's hard to find a spot there. There's a Pilot that I got kicked out of because they're a bunch of racists. No, I'm just kidding. I did get kicked out of it, but not because they're racist. Where the hell is it? I didn't think it was that far down. There it is, Pilot Travel Center. This Pilot right here, let's zoom in on it, and I'll show you what I did get kicked out. Where's my crap? They have me in this map thing where it doesn't give me the option to do satellite view. Let me search it again and get a satellite view of it. There we go. This one has satellite view. Where the? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this is the Pilot. Switch over to satellite. All right. So this place was absolutely packed. There was no parking, and right here at the entrance, up along this curb right here, there was somebody parked along this curb, and then there was somebody. There was an empty spot, and then there were two other people parked. So there were a total of four spots right there, and one of them was empty. And I pulled into one of the spots that was empty, and there were still two other people over here. So there was enough room for people to go around us, but there were four of us parked across right here. It was either right here or right here, out past the end of the row. But a damn cop came and knocked on all of our doors, and then got on his bullhorn and told us that we were blocking the fire lane. Get the hell out of there. Woke me up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's the only time I've ever been like told to move from somewhere I've parked. It's the only time that's ever happened to me. And it's the only time I've ever creatively parked as well. Is it normal if you creatively park to get woke up in the middle of the night? Is that normal? Or did I just get really unlucky the only time I ever did it? I don't know, because that's the only time I've ever done it. um, but yeah, came and woke me up. And the only reason I did it was because I drove around at that Love's waiting on a spot for probably 30 minutes. And then I drove from that Love's down to that Pilot. And I drove around there for 30 minutes or more looking for a spot. And I was out of hours. I even went over and drove over to. I looked at the map and I started looking for just anywhere I could park around here. And like I drove over to this Walmart. I was going to try to get into this Walmart parking lot, and I want to say that they had no truck signs on this street. Like they had no truck signs on almost all the side streets and stuff. So like everywhere I went and tried to find like some kind of parking spot on a dead end street or an industrial area or something, I just couldn't find anything. I drove around for probably at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours trying to find a spot before I just gave up and parked where I did. So I put in a lot of effort. Like I was sitting here looking at the map like I am right now, and I was trying to find spots. See, this right here is gated. You can't get in here. Um, I would have pulled into a construction site like this and parked, but it's all gated and stuff. I don't remember seeing this particular spot on the map when I was looking, but I'm just using it as an example. I was looking at like every little place where you could fit a truck and trying to find a place to go, but man, finding parking down in Florida is a nightmare. But yeah, anyway, let's go refresh the loads over here. Back to Virginia Beach. So yeah, I've got two really good loads, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get another good load. I don't want to sit in Virginia Beach all weekend, but if I do, not a big deal. I'll sit here and play video games or whatever, watch some TV, do something. I'll figure something out. News drama. We don't need any news drama. All right, are there any other markets I want to check out? Just like look for a unicorn load, man. If I could find just an absolutely, like, to give you an idea of why I just randomly search around where I think there might be a unicorn, um, is I've seen loads on this load board that were like $15,000 for 600 or 700 miles. I would be willing to drive a day or two to get to that load. I'll deadhead 1,200 miles to go pick that damn load up. I'll drive across country to pick that damn load up. Depending, like, if it's in a blizzard or something, I don't know. I'd have to take things into consideration on that. But let me think here. Um, let's do Lakeland, Florida. Just see what loads coming out of Florida are like. See if they're just all completely garbage. Oh, these aren't terrible, but they're both going into the deep northeast. $2 a mile crap. Instead of Mobile, let's do Montgomery. That should still get Mobile. Yeah, it's still got Mobile. $3 a mile to go all the way down to Miami. Who pulls that crap? Another $3 a mile to go all the way down to Miami. Mount Pleasant, Tennessee to Dallas. I can't pick that up. That's tomorrow. Hmm. So I don't know. Let's anything else I want to say before I wrap this up? Just I got my current load, my next load, and I am trying to find the load after that, and that's going to be the real tricky load because it's a weekend load. If I don't find a load between now and Friday, then I'm going to have to set through the weekend because they don't generally post new loads over the weekend. I'll have to wait until they post new ones on Monday. Let's see, it's only Tuesday right now. What my plan is well, my options have opened up now that I have the sleeper split, which is I'm really, really happy and excited to finally have that back, especially with the new rule changes where it pauses your 14 on both ends now. That is so amazing. Um, but what I'm what my plan was to let me see exactly how far away I am. I think I'm about 3 hours away. So actually, I'm closer to 4 hours away. It's 212 miles. So I can pick up my next load anytime tomorrow. Um, it's a preloaded trailer. and it is it's ready all day tomorrow. So my delivery window on the load that I'm on right now is all day tomorrow, and my pickup window on my next load is all day tomorrow. So I can't deliver this load until after midnight tonight. And as you just saw, I'm roughly 4 hours away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave here at about 8:30 p.m. so that I can make sure that I'm going to be there after midnight. I don't want to have to set and wait. I want to be able to just roll straight into the DC, the Target Distribution Center, without like setting and waiting for my appointment time. I want to be able to just drive right in there. But I want to get there really close to the beginning of my appointment time because I want to get in there, drop and hook, and then drive 180 miles south to Montgomery. And that's where I'm picking up my next load. So that'll be 4 hours plus 3 hours. And I'm at about a half a tank of fuel right now. I should have enough fuel to get all the way down to Montgomery. I'm planning on filling up um, in Birmingham. There is a Petro, TA Petro locations. All right, let's full screen this. Looks like that Petro in McCalla is going to be a little bit too far out of the way. Um, there's Petro in Dodge City, Alabama, and there's a TA in Montgomery, and there's a Petro and Shorter. Where's the diesel's 234? 237. 239. So this one in Shorter, the Petro in Shorter, or West Point. Does that not have fuel islands? It's just truck service. Um, Let me pause the video while I look at my email and see what the prices are. All right, we're unpaused. I got it into the spreadsheet, so I don't think there's any personal info. I got my email closed back out. All right, so what are we looking at? So in Alabama, so Shorter. Where's Shorter? Right here is Shorter. There's a Petro in Shorter, and I get it at 202 a gallon. That's not very good. What about Montgomery? In Montgomery, I actually get a bigger discount there, so I get it at 201 a gallon in Montgomery. Um, where the hell's the TA in McCalla? Is that not on here anymore? Oh, there it is, the Petro. So the Petro in McCalla, I get a $1.91. It's like 10 cents a gallon cheaper, but it's off the beaten path. I get a 44 cent per gallon discount on that, and that's off the cash price. So it's 6 cent if you 6 cent discount if you use cash or a fuel card. So it's actually from the credit price. That's a 50 cent per gallon discount. The pump price is 2.35. 2.35 a gallon is the cash price. I get it at $1.92, or it's 2.36 and $1.92. Um, let's. I don't know if I can make it to Atlanta, but let's look at see what the price difference is in Georgia for fuel. All right. The Petro in Atlanta is 206. Looks like everything's over $2 a gallon. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to want to fill up in Alabama. Alabama is cheaper than Georgia. Let's do this right here. I need to, you know what I need to do is I need to set up a spreadsheet that'll filter out everything except TA and Petro. I'm not going to mess with that right now because it'd probably take me an hour to do. Okay, TA, Petro. What are the ones that I need to look at? So I think I've already looked at all of them, but Montgomery is 201. That one's $1.91. I mean, it's not like a huge detour to go to that Petro. That one's like 202, 201, $1.91, and the Petro in Dodge City. Let's check the price of the Petro in Dodge City. Is it not Dodge City? Let's look for Coleman. Coleman Petro. Let's look for I-65. Is this it? Petro Dodge City. They have it listed as Huntsville. $1.91. Okay, so that one's $1.91 and it's not out of my way. So that's where I'm gonna fuel up at. So I'll top off at the Petro in Dodge City. $1.91 a gallon. It's technically Huntsville, apparently. I get a 54 cent per gallon discount there. So that's pretty sweet. I can easily make that. I'm still close to half a tank, so I'll probably be, I don't know, 3/8 of a tank. Mm, quarter of a tank, somewhere in that area by the time I get there. So yeah, I'll be good to go to make it there. I'll top off there, and then fuel in Virginia and Georgia and those other places I'm going to be in are not astronomical. It's not like going into the deep Northeast like Pennsylvania, or over into the West Coast like California or other places like that where I'm going to need to. Oh, I didn't even. I'm sorry. When I was looking at the spreadsheet, I didn't flip over to the spreadsheet. I left it on the browser. But this is the spreadsheet that I was looking at that has the fuel prices. And it's this Petro in Dodge City is the one we're gonna do. Um, sorry, I've been looking at the spreadsheet quite a bit for the last 5 or 10 minutes, and and I wasn't switching over my display to show it. So you can sit there and glance at it if you want to. That's kind of how I do my fuel planning, and I'm not too worried about maximizing being topped off before going into an area. Like if I'm about to go into a really expensive area like Pennsylvania that's really expensive on fuel, or California, then I'll make sure that I top off at the last cheap fuel before I go in there. And then once I get out of there, if I get across some cheap fuel, I'll top off again. I do a lot of fuel planning whenever I'm going to be running in an expensive fuel area, but the Virginias and Georgias and Alabamas, um, fuel is reasonable in all those areas, so I don't have to worry about $3 a gallon fuel. Yeah, I might pay $2.05 or maybe even $2.10 a gallon for fuel in some of these places. So I'm not getting like the best fuel price, but I don't have to, do all kinds of ridiculous stuff to do fuel planning driving around in areas like this. I'll just fuel up whenever I need to and just try to get the best price possible that I can. So that's what we're going to do. I don't have to worry about fuel until I make this delivery. But after I make this delivery, then I'm going to top off there at Dodge City. And go back to the browser. There we are. And then make our way down to Montgomery. And I'll probably do the pickup in Montgomery, and then I'll drive over toward Atlanta, and I will stop. I might stop at that Petro there in Shorter, I think it was, because by the time I get that load and leave Montgomery, I will have eaten up 4 hours of drive time, 3 hours of drive time. That's 7 hours. I will be at like 8 hours of drive time by the time. I'll probably be 8 or 9 hours of drive time by the time I get to that Petro in Shorter. So my day will be close to being over with. And if I remember correctly, when we were looking at that map, the next TA or Petro was quite a ways. It was one of those TA, one of those miniature TAs. Um, was the only thing I ran across until I made it almost all the way into Atlanta before I hit a real full size TA or Petro. So I'll probably call it a night there at the Petro in Shorter, and it'll probably be, let's see, that'll be like 9. It'll probably be like 9 or 10 a.m. And I will stop there and take my 10, and then I'll take off at like 8 p.m. or something, and I'll be driving through Atlanta at probably 10 p.m., which will be a good time to drive through Atlanta. And Atlanta, I think, is the only major city I drive through on my entire drive there. Um, and I'll be able to drive almost all the way there. I won't be able to. I don't think I'll be able to drive all the way to my destination in a single drive shift, but I'll get close to there, and then take another 10, and then drive the last couple of hours. So that would put me there. When would I be getting there? So if I started driving at about 8 p.m. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, full drive shift be about 8 a.m. and I should be within 2 hours. Um, so at 8 a.m. I would take 10 hours off, so that would be um, what that be 6 p.m. So yeah, 6 p.m. Thursday night. Let me see what my delivery window is. I think I can deliver it as soon as I can get there. I think my delivery window actually starts before I can possibly get there. Yeah, my delivery window starts. Um, it's all day Thursday and then Friday until noon. So if I basically run as hard as I can, I'll be getting there Thursday night at somewhere around 10 p.m. Yeah, somewhere around 10 p.m. Thursday night is when I'll probably be there. Yeah, so I'll have all day Friday to go pick up my next load. Yeah, that works out. That works out pretty well. But I'm sitting here thinking that let's look at the I don't have to stop at a TA and Petro, but it's going to be around that time where I'm going to want uh, TA Petro locations. It's going to be around that time that I'm going to want to take a shower. So wherever I stop, I'm going to want to be at a TA or Petro on my next stop so that I can take a shower. But now what I'm thinking is if I push beyond Shorter, if instead of stopping at Shorter, this Petro right here in Shorter, if instead of that I drive on, I think that's just a truck service. I don't think they have showers or fuel island or anything there. All right, let's try the TA in Commerce. I don't think there's any way I can make it that far. Oh yeah, there's no way in hell I can make it that far. let's trip plan this real quick. West Memphis, Arkansas to Madison, Alabama. To Montgomery, Alabama. It's roughly 3 hours. And it's saying it's only 6.5 hours to do all of that. And now let's add in Commerce, Georgia. 623 miles. And now let's do Commerce, Georgia to Virginia Beach. Is 8 hours. So it's saying it's 10 hours for all of that. And then 8 hours to finish it up. I could do that in the next drive shift. I would be able to basically get rid of a 10-hour break. So let's do some real quick thoughts on this. So I leave at we'll say 8:30 p.m. Oh shit, it's a different time zone. Um, Madison, Alabama time zone. Okay, so Madison is still in Central time zone. So we're good on that. That's the only time zone I have to worry about. Because I was thinking I might have to leave like an hour earlier or later if the time zone was going to change. So Madison, Alabama is still Central time zone. United States time zone map. So all of Alabama is in Central. As soon as I cross over into Georgia is when it's going to go Eastern. So, okay, I leave at 8:30. It's going to take me 3.5 hours to get there. I'm going to get there shortly after midnight. I'm going to get out of there by 1, and I'm going to fuel and keep going, and it's roughly 3 hours down to here. Um, so I'll get there about 4 a.m., 3:30 to 4 a.m. Take an hour to do the drop and hook. Actually, you know what? Is it a live load or a drop and hook? Yeah, it's a live load. Or no, it's a drop and hook on the pickup, and then it's a live unload. But the unload, it's an open window. I don't have a specific appointment time. It's just as soon as I can get there. So I'll be down in Montgomery roughly 3:30 to 4 a.m. I'll be out of there by about 4:30 to 5 a.m. We'll say 5 a.m. I leave Montgomery. And it's 230 miles, 3.5 hours. Um, yeah, it sounds about right. So, leave there at about 5 a.m. That means that I will be in Commerce at about 9 a.m. Take 10 hours off. That's 7 p.m. And it's an 8-hour drive to finish it out. So from 7 a.m., that means I would be there at 3 a.m. Thursday. Is that right? From 7 p.m. Yeah, 3 a.m. Thursday. So that's a huge difference. I'll be delivering at 3 a.m. Thursday instead of late in the evening Thursday night. I'll have all day Thursday. Is that right? Wait a second. There's no way. No, I start driving at 3 a.m. and I still have 8 hours to go from there. No, no, no. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. I should be able to deliver it. I should have written all this down. I'm just doing it all in my head. But yeah, I think I'll be able to deliver at 3 a.m. Thursday morning. Why in the hell is it taking me until like 10 p.m. Thursday night in my last trip plan? Because, yeah, if I add in a 10-hour break from 3 a.m., um, that puts me at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? That still means I should be able to deliver it by like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know. We'll have to play it by ear a little bit, but it looks like I'm gonna go all the way to Commerce, Georgia, and call it a day in Commerce, Georgia. And that way, if I do that, it basically opens up all day Thursday. If I can find a load on Thursday, then I would be able to pick that up. Which Thursday is the 12th, and I'm already searching for loads on the 12th. So if I run really hard, then I can pick up a load on Thursday. The only problem is that at USA Truck, they like handhold you on this shit. So if a load does pop up on the load board that picks up on Thursday, they may not let me have it because they may say, "Well, we don't know if you can make your delivery," and they'll argue with me over it, and I'll have to go around in circles with them, and somebody else might get the load by the time I'm able to talk them into giving it to me. Um, I shouldn't have to deal with that bullshit at Landstar. There's nobody looking over my shoulder whenever I get on at Landstar. I just book loads. I just call up the broker, negotiate the rate, tell them I want the load, and they give it to me. There's not some you know third party looking over my shoulder reviewing whether or not they think I can make the pickup appointment time or the delivery appointment time. That doesn't exist over at Landstar, as far as I know. But at USA Truck, every time I request a load, a driver manager looks to see like where I'm at, where I'm going, and all that stuff and reviews, and then decides whether or not to give me the load. If they don't think I can make the pickup time, then they'll reject it. And the thing is, they don't know what I'm planning on doing or anything like that. So it's it can be very very frustrating. I've missed out on a few loads because they didn't think that I can make the delivery appointment or the pickup appointment on it. They didn't think I could deliver my other load in time to get there. So anyway, I'm still looking for loads, and I'll continue looking for loads. It's only Tuesday right now, and I'm looking for a load for Thursday or Friday. Hopefully, I can find a load on Thursday. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I'm gonna set my alarm for 8 p.m. and I'm gonna get up at 8 p.m. and I'm going to be ready to leave here by 8:30. I'm gonna roll out of here at 8:30 and go do my thing. But right now I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna go use the restroom and I'm gonna hop in bed and like turn on Netflix or something. Well, I don't my Netflix subscription. I'm protesting Netflix. They did a rate increase again, so I'm gonna watch Amazon Prime or something. Just turn something on and oh, if I haven't mentioned this, I have a little FM transmitter that is so awesome. So let me. I'm pretty sure that I've already got. Yeah, I've already got it set up. Let me. I'm sure Tony won't mind. Let me go back to Tony's video. And see if it'll play. Where? What kind of list is this putting it in? Where's Tony? There he is.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I just thought
All
I'd make
right.
this quick video while I'm sitting here waiting on this trailer to get fixed. Um, Picked up an empty, tires messed up, so might as well go ahead and get it fixed, man. Because if not, you got days out here where you'll spend literally your whole clock, trying to hunt down an empty. And I have to drive 2 hours over to Minnesota from Menominee, Wisconsin to pick my load up by 3:30. So I'm trying to hurry up and get over there. But thought I'd make a video
I
real
don't know if
quick
you can
while I'm
hear it,
sitting here.
but it's coming
Um,
out of the speakers.
the live load over there. Got a load heading down.
So I've got an FM transmitter that works off of Bluetooth, and whenever I'm sitting here watching TV, I have it playing out over my speakers. So the APU is running right now, but if I turn the ignition if I turn it backwards one notch, not AC, you turn it forward one notch and it turns on the air conditioner and all the rest of that shit. If you just turn it back one notch, it doesn't turn on the air conditioner and all that crap, but it does turn on the radio. And I turn on the radio in here and play out over the speakers. It is awesome. This FM transmitter is awesome. Now, you do have to find a station that doesn't have anything on it. Otherwise, you're going to have cracking and hissing and weird noises and shit. But if you find a station that doesn't have anything on it, then it is almost like perfect quality. Yeah, you're still going to get a little bit of static, but like right now, I've got the volume turned up really loud, and you can barely hear a little bit of static. So it's pretty damn awesome. I really like that I purchased the FM transmitter. It was a good purchase. So I'm gonna hop up in the top bunk and turn on some movie or something, TV show. Who knows what I'm gonna watch? I rewatch a lot of TV shows. Like I've watched um, Stargate Atlantis, Stargate Universe, Lost, uh, Battlestar Galactica. I'm a big sci-fi person. I've watched all the TV shows that I like. I've seen them like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times. Like every X Files, I've watched every episode of the X Files. I've just watched the X Files from episode one until they ended the show probably 3 or 4 times. The original Stargate TV show that's like 10 seasons long or however long it was, I've watched that entire series probably a dozen times. Um, I'll just start watching, Stargate from episode one, season one, episode one. I'll just watch it all the way through over the course of a couple of weeks. Like in all my free time, that's all I'll watch. So I don't know what I'll watch right now. I'm not currently watching any TV show. But yeah, I better end this. It's going to take forever to upload because we're approaching 2 hours. But man, I hope the best for everybody. I hope you guys are out there crushing it and making this money. And I think I have a lot of gripes about USA Truck. I still think that they have a lot of room for improvement. And what frustrates me is that I think USA Truck is a really good company, and they just have a couple of things to improve on to where they could, like USA Truck could be competitive with somebody like Landstar. They need to do something about their rates. They don't need huge improvements on their rates. I mean, they have a lot of loads on the load board. They're actually as good, if not better, than Landstar loads. They just need to increase the quantity of loads on the load board, increase the quantity of good loads on the load board so that you can consistently run on good loads and not just do like amazing load, crap, okay load, good load. I mean, you're all over the place on loads with USA Truck. It's really difficult to consistently run at a solid rate. That's one of the room areas of improvement they have. Their equipment, their trailers, stuff like that. They need a lot of improvement on that. Um, and then their babysitting that they do with their owner operators, they need to differentiate their owner operator division more from their company division. And they need to get rid of, there's a lot of things that they do with their owner operators. They treat their owner operators like their company drivers. Now, what's cool about that is the company drivers with USA Truck are treated like adults. In comparison to the rest of the industry, a lot of these trucking companies do a lot of hand holding, the micromanaging. They treat their drivers like children. USA Truck treats their drivers like adults. You can do your own routes, you can fuel up where you want, stuff like that. But they still have quite a few rules on their company drivers. But in comparison to other trucking companies, they don't have a lot of rules. The problem is that they treat their owner operators just like their company drivers. So we're under the same rules as their company drivers. We still restricted on yard move. We're restricted on personal conveyance. This is my fucking truck. I'm the one paying for the fuel. Why are you restricting my personal conveyance? You're restricting my ability to drive around in my own personal truck when I'm on my time off. If I want to go and drive 500 miles a day on my time off, that should be my decision. They need to come up with a separate rule set for the owner operators on their hours of service. They need to stop this bullshit of calling me to confirm on, hey, did you actually read that trip that you picked up? Do you know what the appointment times are? That's really condescending. Like to have them call me on every load and be like, yeah, I see that you just got this load. I just have to verbally confirm that you know the appointment time is this and this and this and this. That's really annoying because sometimes it takes them a couple hours to make that phone call. It's not right when I request the load, and sometimes it's a few days later. And I don't like being contacted because usually when they call me, they wake me up. One of the reasons that I was only able to sleep for 3 hours today is because I got like 3 phone calls after I fell asleep. I'm not going to go into detail about what all the phone calls were about because it's, some of it's, about my personal life that I don't want to divulge. But it was from the company. And, I don't like being contacted about that. The phone calls were unnecessary. And they shouldn't have existed. And they called, woke me up like 3 times while I was trying to sleep. And it's really annoying. I can't just turn my damn phone off when I'm sleeping because if there's an important phone call, I need to take that call. and it pisses me off that I'm in a position where I might have to start muting my phone when I'm sleeping and possibly miss important phone calls because I get so many unimportant phone calls from USA Truck. There's a bunch of little things that they need to fix, and one of their big things they need to fix to be competitive with Landstar is revenue. The loads just don't pay as well as Landstar in general. Like I said, some of the loads pay better than Landstar, but you can't consistently run on good paying loads at USA Truck. They need to add in a bid offer system on their load board. They need to give us more direct access to the brokers or the account managers or whatever. Um, they they still have the owner operator division set up exactly like the company driver division, where you have a driver manager and all the rest of that crap. Owner operators, in my opinion, don't need these damn driver managers. We should be talking directly with account managers and brokers and stuff like that. We shouldn't have these damn driver managers um, as a middleman to reach out to everybody. I mean, those are the things I'm looking forward to on moving over to Landstar is having direct access to the brokers and stuff like that. Um, but you know, I the reason I get frustrated over stuff with USA Truck is number one because I work here, but number two because I think there's so much potential. USA Truck is on the verge of greatness, in my opinion. There's a lot of really good things with USA Truck, and if they were to change a few things, and they've been changing things, they've been getting better and better over time. The USA Truck today is not the USA Truck that it was a year or two ago. They've been improving. And Tony was saying all kinds of stuff in his video that I've never heard anywhere except from Tony's video. I don't know where he gets his information from. I think it's maybe from his driver manager. But he said that they're talking about doing rate increases, like the percentage that we get paid. We're paid 65%. He said that they're thinking about bumping up the percentage that we're paid. And there's a couple of other things he mentioned in his video that were news to me. I've never heard before. That were good changes that would make life over here pretty good. I forgot what the other things are. That might be one of the things that when I'm trying to go to sleep, I'll rewatch his video again and listen to those things that he said that they're thinking about changing. Um, but yeah, if they get more good paying loads on their load board, to where you can consistently run at a good rate, then that's the main thing that would keep me here versus getting me going to Landstar is the money. Um, if I can consistently run at about $6,000 or $7,000 a week here at USA Truck, then and that's gross to the truck, then there's not a whole lot of incentive for me to leave for Landstar. But I don't think I can do that at USA Truck, and I think I can do that on a consistent basis at Landstar. So I think that's one of the biggest things that they have to fix to if they want to uh, keep drivers, retain drivers, and hire in quality drivers. Um, so we'll see how it goes, but I think that USA Truck's a really good company, and I just it's frustrating because I think they can do better. I think that there's just so many little things that they can change to do better. Oh, I'm looking at the Montgomery market. I need to be looking at the Virginia Beach. I'm going to keep just extending this video. I need to just end it. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to end it. I'm going to go use the restroom real quick, and then I'm going to try to get a nap before. It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I need to wake up at 8 p.m. I'll probably set my alarm for 7:45 or 8 p.m. So you're talking about a 5-hour nap, and I just woke up a few hours ago. I'm not in a rush. I don't have to run as hard as what I'm trip planning. So if I get out there, I'm not able to sleep, and I get tired, you know, I can pull over and take a nap if I want to. I can do whatever I need to do to get the load there. Um, Especially now that I have the sleeper split back available to me. So we'll play it by ear. What's really going to push me to get there as soon as possible, or cause me to, you know, slack off and, you know, just limp it there, is my next load. If I can get another load put on me, then I'll find out how hard I need to run over these next two loads, because these next two loads have such big pickup and delivery windows that I can either run them really hard or I can take my time. I have a lot of options because of the windows that I have on them. But right now I'm running. I'm planning on running as hard as I can until I find another load, and then I can adjust accordingly. But all right, I'm gonna end the video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, and I wish everyone the best. Bye.